Nobody wakes up in the morning thinking, I'm going to go to A&E today. Nobody knows. Nobody knows who it's going to be.
Paediatric trauma call, 15 minutes.
Code red, helipad response.
You're having a heart attack.
We want to be in and out of scan in the next 10 minutes.
I can't feel any pulse.
Any reception, can I help you? Yeah, 24 hours, 7 days a week. I love that question. What's your opening hours?
St George's, London, one of the busiest and most advanced A&E departments in the world.
Beautiful. It's as if we've done it before.
We are there when awful things happen to pick up the pieces.
We have a 2-year-old who's kicked by a horse.
We see the unpredictableness of what happens in life, and we're suddenly having to explain why it's gone wrong.
I can't feel my left leg.
You'll be okay.
A place where life...
Amy, selfie!
Down below. Too slow.
love...
Such a big boy. So proud of you.
And loss...
I'm still here.
Unfold every single day.
So we don't shake hands at this hospital, we fist bump. Can I have a fist bump?
All the patients you're about to see were treated in just one 24-hour period.
Hello, darling.
You genuinely do see the best of people in this job. You'll see strangers rushing to the aid of someone they've never met. You just see things that make you realise just how important the people in your life are and the people around you are.
Hello, A&E, can I help?
Right, don't go on.
Hello. First door around here. If you just go down to the end, it's the last door on the right. OK. Police officer is fit. Oh, my God. Fit as anything. Sarah, you're falling in love with me. Go and have a look at this policeman, please. I've got palpitations.
Hello, I'm Dr. Moss. Hi. Little scratch coming. Sorry.
Dr. Phil has been working at St George's for 20 years. He's the clinical director for the whole A&E department.
When I was 7, there was a TV show called Your Life in Their Hands. This guy had lost some of his fingers, and the operation was to take a couple of his toes and attach them to his hand to give him some sort of finger-like grip. And I thought this was absolutely fascinating. The sort of natural thing that came up was, to me at least, was to go off and do medicine.
Morning, guys. OK. You're resus with an asterisk.
As a junior doctor, just because you've come out the other end of medical school and have a very large and very pretty certificate doesn't actually qualify you for very much.
OK, guys, do you just want to hit majors collectively for the minute, and then we'll wing it from there?
Suddenly, you're the one that's got to make that assessment, make that diagnosis, pull it out the bag and get it right for that patient.
Good morning. Would you like to go to Peds, sir? Yeah. They're about that high. Actually, you can do me a spot diagnosis.
No pressure.
No pressure.
They come in like sort of rabbits in headlights.
That's my daughter. She woke up like this morning.
Yeah, it's the mumps.
But by the end of it, they've become quicker at what they do, and they understand this isn't medical school anymore, this is the real world.
No idea. It doesn't matter. Go see GP.
Ambulance service, where is the help required?
I've fallen down the stairs and I've broken my leg so badly the bone's sticking out.
How many stairs did you fall down?
About 12. The bone's sticking right out.
Okay.
And I'm bleeding all over my brand new carpet.
All right, try not to worry. I know it's frightening. We've got help coming. Are you on your own?
Yes, my husband died a year ago. I'm trying to get to the door without knocking my foot off.
Just stay where you are for me. We'll get in, okay? Just stay exactly where you are for the moment.
And it's St George's Recess. Okay, adult or paediatric.
A 68-year-old woman is being brought to St George's after falling down a flight of 12 stairs.
Thank you, cheers then. Adult female trauma call, ETA 15 minutes.
Open dislocation left ankle.
Do you want to lead in the first instance and I'll catch you up?
Yeah.
Working alongside clinical director Phil is junior doctor Ashley.
The first day that I started working, I remember it being quite tough. The fact that you're studying for 6 years and there comes a point where you think you're ready to be a doctor and you definitely want to get stuck in and start doing things for yourself. You quickly realise that you're not ready, and even more so in resus.
There is a trauma call coming. Could you get the plaster trolley?
You see patients that are sicker than you've ever seen, and you need to make decisions quicker than you've ever made them. So you have less time to think, you have less margin for error. It's daunting, and it's exciting as well.
This is Beth, 68-year-old female. She lost balance at the top of the flight of 12 stairs. She's fallen full length. She has a very, very obvious open fracture of the left ankle. She's got one cannula, and the wound's been irrigated and splintered.
Could we pop a hard collar on? Because I'm more worried that this is a distracting injury.
So, mechanism of stairs, was it?
Yeah, 12 stairs.
12?
I'm popping her in a collar. She doesn't have any neck pain, but this could easily be a distracting injury.
Absolutely.
So she's getting a collar before we move her off the scoop.
As well as her severely fractured ankle, staff are concerned Beth might have sustained other internal injuries.
OK. 12 stairs. She's done that. Pan scan.
She's getting a pan scan,
OK.
She had an injury that was obvious to all of us, but that didn't mean there weren't other injuries that the patient sustained, and some of those injuries themselves could be life-threatening. And that's not a nice place to be. She was on her own, and it can be quite difficult to deal with that.
No LOC, she called service herself.
I think more often than you think you see patients coming on their own. Certainly, I think as a population, as we're getting older, you see more elderly patients coming in on their own.
She's also got SATs of 85, so can we pop some oxygen on her as well?
I think once you realise that there isn't anyone to be there with them, that becomes one of the most challenging things.
OK, what's the cut brief on that foot like right
now? It's not great. It's make it about 35.
I wouldn't want any of my relatives to be alone, because it's the worst moments of your life when you come into hospital, and I wouldn't want anybody to be alone.
A&E.
Why are they giving you 2 eye patches? Because you have to cover both eyes. In case you are blind, you're not allowed to move your eyes, they move together.
26-year-old Luke has come into A&E after an accident at work involving an electric saw.
Can you see?
He's accompanied by twin brother, Dan.
Do we sit down again?
Let me see, because I want to see the eyeball.
I've turned round and he's passed the saw up under my glasses.
Well, if you saw it, why didn't you duck?
Okay, I didn't see it, did I? I went like that. You prat. It must have been literally there.
I don't know why someone would put a sword.
Oh, because I'm standing on top of a ladder and he's standing there passing out.
Why would you do that?
Because I said pass
You
it up.
wouldn't do it. You wouldn't pass a knife like that, would you?
It's a sword, Dan.
Pass handle first. Health and safety, Luke.
Yeah, I'd say Daniel was a lot more sensitive than I was. And I've probably come across a lot more confident at times.
Can't help it when you've got a pretty face, everyone wants to damage it.
That's right.
He's all about his looks, I think. So yeah, if he lost his eyesight, it would kill him.
Can I take a picture of it?
No.
Let me just take a picture.
Why? I don't want you taking pictures of it.
No, look. Look, because it's...
I don't like me.
It's a memory, isn't it?
It's a memory. Bell set.
Let me just look.
What was it like growing up being a twin?
It's like having your best mate living with you and do everything together.
But it was always good because you always had each other. And your partner in crime, your wingman.
Exams and that, it was always me helping him. I was the brainy one, I think.
I'm telling you now, if that recip saw was on, mate, the speed that goes, I'd have ripped the whole side of my face.
Oh. Look like something of a horror movie, mate.
Yeah.
Can you imagine it all gaping like that?
No.
Are we happy with our primary, or are we not finished yet? OK.
Earlier today, 68-year-old Beth fell down a flight of stairs at home, severely fracturing her ankle.
She's got a significant mechanism with an open fracture, so as quick as we can.
She was rushed into A&E after she called the ambulance herself.
Guys, listen up. So the plan is to correct the angulation of this fracture and fractured ankle, and we're going to reduce it. Based on the mechanism, we will still scan this lady. If you do the manipulation with orthopaedics, I'm going to go and get CT teed up, OK?
Perfect, brilliant.
For those junior doctors, as they come up through the ranks, you've got to let them learn a little bit on their own, but be there to support them, to make them feel not so on their own.
No, she's got lining. She hasn't. Yeah, get another access.
Okay.
Every decision you make will affect that patient. And if it's the wrong decision, can have huge implications.
Once we've got her off the scoop, we'll do this straight away. We're just getting the plaster trolley.
Yeah. But when you make a decision and you're able to run it past someone who's made that decision 1,000 times before you, it makes you feel safe for doing your job.
Hello.
You obviously injured your ankle quite severely tonight. So these kind anaesthetists are going to give you some medicine that will make you quite woozy and sleepy, and then we'll make it nice and straight. Is that OK? All right, thank you.
Before doctors can assess whether Beth has any other serious injuries, they must first manipulate her ankle back into place.
We've got all of our drugs ready for sedation.
Deep breaths in and out, please. Try and keep your eyes open for as long as you can.
Can we draw the curtain as well?
Bend her knee for the doctor, please. Thanks. Oh, well done. Fantastic. It will probably be very unstable, so if it's
very unstable.
We need to act quite quickly and get that ankle realigned to give her the best chance of having a successful operation, not having a really nasty wound infection.
Straighten the leg a little bit for me.
Because they could lose their limb.
We good? Yeah. OK, so can we basically get straight round to CT?
Yeah, it's not moving as much now.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Interrupting pirate.
Interrupting? Should have known that was going to happen.
Oh, hi, it's Anne in urgent care. Would you be able to take a gentleman to X-ray for me in exam 10? We need a wheelchair, please. Thank you, bye.
Working in urgent care today, is emergency nurse practitioner Anne.
John?
Yes. Take the paper here, John. You're going to need it.
Hello there.
Hello.
Come on in.
To the Duchess to the fly. Thank you, laddie. Thank you, nurse. All I want now is a crutch and parrot on my shoulder. Long John Silver.
How can I help you today?
Well, I walked over the downs. Now, as I'm walking along, there's lots of stones and earth and all that like
Yeah,
that.
quite an uneasy ground,
Absolutely,
uneven ground.
totally agree with you. But then I felt something like, and I didn't take much notice of it.
Did you actually remember sort of going over on your ankle or anything like that?
No,
So
no,
nothing
no, no, no,
specific,
no, no, no.
But the ground was very uneven, so...
And
Yes,
yeah,
that's
and
right.
I said to myself, now, could this be a spider bite? A bite from a spider? Could a bee land inside me trainer? I don't know.
Well, should we have a look at... Let's have a
Yeah,
look at
go
your
on then,
leg.
and-
All right, pop your flip-flop off. OK. Certain patients really stick in your head, and that can be for a number of reasons. Is that quite tender here?
No, it's round the back of there.
I'm particularly soft on old people.
Go on, now go down a bit. Down, yeah, a bit more. Ah, that's it, just there. That's exactly where it is.
I'll always try and make conversation with them because for me, that's a way about finding out about this person. It sounds like you're very fit and get around a lot.
Well, I led a clean life. I was in the British Army as well.
OK,
I was out in Cyprus,
OK. When were you in Cyprus?
57.
Oh, wow. Sometimes it's about just sitting with someone for 5–10 minutes because whilst we offer a lot, there is still an element of stuff that we can't help people with. OK, what I'm going to do is send you for an X-ray anyway, just to make sure that there isn't a
that's
fracture
good.
there.
Yeah, go on, yeah,
Are you
appreciate
happy
it.
with that?
Yeah, absolutely,
OK,
Anne, absolutely.
lovely.
Fly me to the moon.
I'll see you when you get back, John.
Oh, please, Anne.
OK.
Thank you. Here's looking at you, kid.
Hello, afternoon, Porters. Yeah, man.
Number 3, 1, 2, 3. There you go. Do you want that higher up, you happy?
The right hand.
Beth was rushed to A&E after falling down her stairs at home. Her fractured ankle has been repositioned and she now requires a CT scan to identify any life-changing injuries. Her family have been informed.
Well, she fell all the way down the stairs, managed to phone ambulance service herself, no loss of consciousness. Doesn't complain of anything else apart from pain in the ankle.
I remember losing my balance. I just remember going down and when I landed thinking, oh God, I've lost my foot. I managed to pull the phone off the windowsill and ring 999. And then I don't really remember anything after that. I was frightened because when you know that you can't walk at all, there's nothing you can do. The front door is locked. I was scared because I'm on my own. I'm not quite used to that yet.
We think we've got your foot in a better position, OK, and it's in a plaster, so it should be a bit more comfortable. We've just scanned basically all of your body to look for any other injuries. And we're going to need to wait for that scan to be reported before we can take this collar off. Because the concern is that you may have injured something else apart from your foot. As soon as we have any more information, I'll come back and speak to you, OK? All right.
I can imagine how difficult it is to not have people around you that make you feel more comfortable when you're at your most vulnerable. One time, I'd just finished work on my way home, and I'd stopped to get food. Not anticipating anything to happen at all. And then it happened almost in a blink of an eye, really. And I was stabbed. I hadn't really taken it in at first. And it was only a few minutes after where I really started to process what had just happened. And I remember looking down just at my feet and seeing that there was lots of blood on the floor. I did start to think whether I would die there on the street. One thing I probably still can't understand is that nobody stopped. People just walked on by. It felt very lonely. I ended up just jumping into a taxi. I knew that I wanted to come to St George's. I wanted to be around people that knew me. It gave me a great deal of comfort at the time.
Hello, St George's. Cyclist versus car. It's a head injury. Okay. Thanks, bye. Adult male trauma, ETA 5 minutes.
A 67-year-old man has been knocked off his bicycle in a hit and run. He was travelling at speed and was not wearing a helmet.
Head injury, so that's only 9 to an hour. Don't have any other information.
The most worrying thing about head injuries is that they're very time critical. And you can run out of time quite quickly before it becomes too late to do anything at all. You certainly worry in those high-speed collisions, those cyclists not wearing a helmet, because you know that the likelihood of there being a significant injury to the brain is more likely.
Ready bracelet.
Can we just put a line in?
This is Lee, 67-year-old. He was on his bike, hit and run accident. Another cyclist behind us, another cyclist said he got hit by the car and run over. He has lost consciousness, has no recollection of what actually happened. He is feeling nauseous, dizzy.
Okay, can I have 3 people on the patient's right-hand side, please?
Trachea central.
Thank you.
Have you got any pain in your chest?
No, sir, no.
OK, can you take one really deep breath? So he's got good bilateral air entry, no chest wall tenderness.
Doctors are concerned that Lee has suffered a severe trauma to the head and may have further injuries to his neck and spine.
Got any pain in your tummy?
You still feeling nauseous?
Just a little bit, yeah.
It was a lovely day, so I decided to go to cycle. It was about an hour and a half ride. And the car came out of a side road, and he obviously didn't see me because I hit him before I could even touch the brakes. It was a horrible feeling. I just knew I was going to crash.
Ample history. Can you head to pelvis, please?
All I remembered was a white vehicle and I hit the window. Next thing, an hour and a half later, I woke up in the ambulance. Then the ambulance guy said to me, do you know where you are? So I said, yes, I'm in an ambulance. And he said to me that he didn't expect me to answer the question. He thought he had lost me.
God, can we just get the bloods before we pop the hugger on?
Just getting it now, okay? GCS 15.
Lee's family haven't been notified as they're not currently in the UK.
I was born in southern Rhodesia, which is now Zimbabwe. We were farming to start off with, so it was always a struggle. And nobody was wealthy. Everybody was poor. Everybody was poor. No one had flashy cars and overseas holidays and things like that. It was a safe place. You had such freedom. that you could just go and disappear for a day into the bush and go fishing.
You're nice and warm now.
It was different times. It was very relaxed. It was this carefree society where everybody got on, and there was no racism, there was no religious intolerance or anything like that. People were just good people.
I'll come to CT. I think he's just taken the bloods.
When, independence was declared unilaterally, that changed completely, almost overnight. There was no freedom of speech or freedom of ideas. Freedoms were really cut off completely. I think once it's changed, there's no going back to what it was.
Okay, can we get ready to go to CT, please? Thank you.
Do you know what I start buying? Is I used to buy Dove for Men, and it's lovely. It's lovely stuff. I used to find it really used to dry
That's
my
what
skin
I've got,
out.
yeah, I know. It does, doesn't it?
And I bought the Dove for Women now, and it's lovely.
No,
skin's
mine
lovely.
dries me out.
Because the minute it happened, the whole eye just went slowly blurry.
Yeah,
and I didn't realise
You've got to tell me on the phone, say, Dan, everything's fine. You don't crying your eyes out telling me, Dan, I'm blind. I was like,
I was panicking, mate. I had a patch over my eye, I couldn't see.
Luke and twin brother Dan have been joined by their dad, Steve.
Where's your eye? There. Naughty, innit?
Luke!
Ah.
Hello.
You all right, how you doing?
Come on in. Come and have a seat. My name's Anne, I'm one of the nurse practitioners. What's been happening to you today?
Well, I was working on a ladder.
Okay.
And I've asked a colleague to pass a recip saw up. And I've turned around, it's gone straight up the glasses, hit me eye.
Okay. It's a saw, did you say?
Yeah, a recip saw.
An electric saw.
Electric
Oh, okay.
saw, yeah.
That's too technical for
Yeah,
me.
sorry.
Okay.
My relationship with Dan, it was very close. I mean, we was inseparable at one point because we done everything together. But now, as we've grown up, he's met his girlfriend and he's moved on. She's fine, it's what adults do.
So any blurred vision at all?
Not at all.
Any pain in the eye?
Only a bit of throbbing.
Okay.
Well,
Is that the actual eye or is that the lid, would you say?
Just the lid, I think.
Just the lid.
My brother's different in he just likes to go out and socialise with his mates and party a lot. I moved away and I've got a son now.
When you haven't got your mates coming out for a drink, you always had your brother to go out with, didn't you? So it was hard in that respect.
Sorry.
He does call me up all the time, ringing, asking to go for pints down the pub and that, and I'm always making up excuses. I think he wants to be a partyhead all the time for the rest of his life.
Just like losing your best mate, if you know what that feels like. Oof. He's moved away, he's getting on with his life, and I've just got to put up with it, really.
Just going to give it a little clean. I think you may need a stitch in there. It's not something that I would be confident to do because it's very on the edge of your eyelid, as you know. So I'm going to have a chat with one of my colleagues who will come and take a look at it.
I hate stitches.
How's she doing?
Good.
How's that ankle feel right now?
It's a bit worse how tall it was.
Good, OK.
Beth has severely fractured her ankle, and doctors are concerned she's sustained other internal injuries.
Let's just wait for that formal report. It shouldn't be long. I'll go and chase that for you now, OK?
Oxygen can come off now, really.
Yeah.
She's saturated well throughout, so...
Yeah, OK.
I was born in a small town called Brandon in Manitoba in Canada. When I first got married, it was all very strange. I just turned 18 and I wasn't that worldwide for my age. I didn't know all that much. It was a bit of a shock. My husband wanted to travel, and he managed to get a job with a firm of accountants in Bermuda. He wanted to make a lot of money and retire by the time he was 30. You didn't work. No, my dear, you didn't work. Women were to be decorations. Be well groomed and to be at the right parties. We had 2 children, but I felt very lonely. I think we just kind of drifted apart and were leading our own lives.
Just to make sure that it will settle after some
I'm going to sit
time.
around and take a collar off then.
Scans have revealed that Beth has no other injuries.
Right, shall we see if we can get this collar off?
Oh, that would be
Is there any pain in your neck at all?
No.
None at all. Okay, can you lift your head up very slowly? Any pain?
No.
Okay, good. Get rid of that then.
I think I was about 32 when I got married second time. You're more secure and more aware of who you are as a person. He had been in the Merchant Navy, so he had lots of interesting stories. He'd been to a lot of countries in the world. It was very different marriage. I was much, much happier with him than I ever was. I adored him.
Would you like your glasses?
Oh, yes, please.
There you go. See what's going on in the world.
Yes.
Beth is being transferred to a ward before having emergency surgery on her broken ankle.
Up a wee bit more. How's that?
That's lovely.
Good.
My husband only died, well, it'll be 2 years ago this December. But we were married for 35 years. And when I look back on my life, I'm very glad I met him and married him. And I miss him.
To be or not to be, to live or to die, that is the question. What is noble in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outraged its fortune, or to take arms against the sea of troubles and by opposing end them, to die to sleep no more. Oh,
Hello.
That was Hamlet, no.
John, it's all finished.
Absolutely, totally correct.
So I've had a look at the X-ray. It's absolutely fine. There's no broken bones there or stress
Thank God for
fractures,
that.
which is good. It does show a little bit of calcification near your Achilles tendon.
Is that because I did a
but
long
also-
walking?
Yeah, I was going to say, so the fact that you've done a lot of repetitive walking and, you know...
Cycling since I was very young. I've been cycling for years and years and years and years, you know.
Sometimes you sort of just want to keep them there and do the most you can for them, even if it's keeping there a tiny bit longer, getting them a cup of tea.
I met a lady here. She wasn't the right sign of the horoscope for me.
Oh.
Because I'm a Libra, you see.
OK.
And the Libras and the Leo do not get on. You know that now, Anne.
I do. I get great satisfaction from the fact that not only have I fixed someone up and made them feel better, but actually I've taken some time out to sort of get to know them a little bit. You can go away thinking, if I'm doing something just to make them happy today, then that's what's most important. So we've given you some codeine, OK, which will help with the pain. The one thing you probably are going to have to do...
Can I listen to you very attentively?
...is not do lots of exercise on that foot. All right, all the best to you.
All right, Anne.
Take care.
You lovely lady.
All right.
Anne,
Yeah.
Anne, it's
Yes,
a
ma'am.
rollover tonight.
Oh.
82 million.
I better get a ticket then.
82 million.
Oh, take
Rollover.
care.
Don't forget that. Hey, it's 81, is it? Oh, I thought it was 82.
You are a bit cold, but we're going to warm you up, OK?
Lee requires a CT scan to determine what injuries he's sustained.
We're just going to move you from this trolley to the trolley next to us, OK? But we're going to slide you across, so you don't have to do anything.
Okay.
I came to Britain 8 years ago. They conscripted me into the army in Zimbabwe. You had to support the white independence movement. But I didn't see any difference between black people and white people. So I had to keep myself pretty much, close-lipped so as not to get into trouble. Eventually it did get me into trouble, is why I had to leave the country.
Try and keep nice and still for me, okay? It won't take long.
And it sounds terrible, but we were told we were going to cull Hoats. We're actually going to kill black people, whether they were innocent or guilty, because the Major didn't have enough kills for the month. I just couldn't believe we'd sunk to such depths.
Breathe in and hold your breath.
This fella came through our ambush positions, so I just got up and arrested him. And this infuriated the officer, because then he tried to shoot him at point-blank range. It ended up in a dust-up, and I won the dust-up. so my prisoner lived, and that it just brought such fury amongst a small proportion of the population. And then a friend of mine who was a police reservist came past me one evening and said to me, "I'm not stopping." He said, "Get out of the country, you're going to be arrested tomorrow for treason." And he just carried on walking.
Well, that's all the scan's done, my love. Still a bit shivery, aren't you?
I just put the caravan on the car and off I went. Next morning I crossed the border, went to South Africa. I was just thankful that I could prevent stuff happening that shouldn't have happened. There was total human rights violations.
Okay, bear with me a moment and I'll see if I can have a chat.
Nurse Anne is examining Luke to see whether he needs stitches on his eyelid.
It's a radiator. They're going to put a needle near my eye.
No, Luke, don't worry, mate. They're going to numb it all so you don't feel nothing.
You just need probably one stitch.
So that's his upper lid and he's got a cut just there.
Let's have a look. How did you do this?
With a saw.
Did it pass it to you whilst it was on?
No, it wasn't. If it was on, it would have ripped the whole side of my face.
God, don't.
Certainly would have. Just relax your eye for a sec. Keep him open for a second.
With me, I learn the hard way every single time. That's just the way I am.
I'm going to have a look at it under the slit lamp.
Yeah,
Have
no
you?
worries. I haven't yet, no.
Come with me for a second, mate.
I was arrested twice. Most recent one, I left the pub after 2 drinks. Didn't realise there was police in the pub, and they pulled me over, drink driving. Wound down my window at first, and because I swore, they dragged me out of the car and handcuffed me and straight over the bonnet. Got taken to the local police station. I felt like I let my family down, because I don't think anyone in my family's been through that, to be honest.
Basically, the cut goes right through your eyelid and underneath, so it's a lot trickier for me to stitch. So we're going to get the ophthalmologist to have a look at it.
He was ashamed of what he did. You could tell that he didn't want to be that person as much anymore. I think that was a turning point. He matured from that, I think.
You've got a very small abrasion on your eye from obviously the saw, but because the laceration extends up underneath, and when we lift it up, it just starts to bleed. So it's better that they have a look at it. OK, mate?
Perfect. I'll speak to the ophthalmology team now and we'll try and get you up there.
Thank you, cheers.
Jesus. So, yeah, it's gone literally... It skimmed your eyeball and up.
Yeah.
Joe, you're so lucky, mate. You're so lucky.
And that abrasion is literally just a tiny nick of your eyeball. Oh, how lucky is that?
Jesus. I'm past that now, I've grown up. And the fact that I'm seeing my brother now settle down, and he's really happy. I just feel like I want to be in that position. I want to be happy and meeting someone nice.
How you feeling?
Nervous?
I won't worry about it, mate. It's just a needle. You gotta laugh about it now.
It'd be nice to have children one day, especially being with someone that you want to spend the rest of your life with as well.
So the ophthalmology doctors are going to see you and stitch that up for you. So we'll get you up there.
I'm hoping it'll happen. Never say never, can I? There's always someone out there for you, ain't there? I just haven't found her yet. I'll find her one day, though.
You getting spasm?
Yeah, my legs.
Keep nice and still now, just for one moment, to be casual.
Lee came into resus after being involved in a hit and run. He's had his CT scan to assess what injuries he sustained, and doctors are awaiting his results.
You will tell me if you're going to be sick, won't you?
Okay.
When I'd moved to South Africa, my buddy's fiancée, she had a friend and introduced us, and we started seeing one another. Yeah, there was such promise. We knew there was a future, but at that age you don't even consider what it's going to be. We just knew it was going to be good.
Would you like something for pain?
No.
Sorry, I know I keep asking. I just don't want you suffering in silence.
No, I'm not.
We both had good jobs. We were both earning good money. And so we then settled in South Africa immediately having got married.
1 second.
But we had problems in the marriage. So it made it very difficult. And after a few years, once the children had come along, I realized that there was no way out of it.
Now, that's a nice warm blanket on you again, Lee.
Okay.
It'll warm you up, my love.
Thank you.
I was scared of the alternate, of being alone and starting over again. And I think mostly because I didn't want my kids to go through that. Because they were ecstatically happy. I didn't want to spoil that. So once the kids had left home, then I decided we were going to break up, separate.
Did you love her for that entire time?
Yeah, I did. No, I did.
Hello. Hi.
Hello.
Your scan results are back.
Okay.
And there are no injuries.
Oh, good.
Okay.
The future for me is I have to find this soulmate. It's a waste of life, being lonely.
There is a big cut on the back of your head
Yeah.
that we're going to need to stitch up.
Oh, okay.
We might need to cut a bit of your hair off as well.
It grows again.
It will grow again.
I want someone who wants to, when they hear my key in the door, that they get excited. They get excited when they know I'm coming home soon. I don't think I've ever really had it in my whole life. But that's why it's probably so important to me now.
First one's going in okay. Was the pain okay?
Yeah, fine.
Fine, good.
I think people look for that person to be in their lives because they want to share all of the good things they do, all of the exciting things they do with someone they care about.
I'd rather keep him for a night until you're up and walking again. We'll see how things go. We'll take a bit of time.
Right.
But if we can get you home, we obviously will.
Okay.
All right?
And as an aside to that, you share all of the frightening times, all of the times that you would rather not have happened, but that the fact they're made easier by having someone is exactly why everybody's always looking for that person.
What do you want in the near future?
I definitely need a girlfriend.
Yeah, you
definitely. Need to teach me how to get one, mate.
What advice can you give him?
Be less cocky.
The biggest plus for me is just the movement and the closeness and the relationship with another person, with their soul. And I think it's very important for anybody, is human contact.
With life, I think that you're dealt a pre-designed hand and you just play it. It's meant to happen, it happens, and you get on with it and hold those near you very close. The ones you love them very deeply. I never thought of not walking again because it wasn't an option. I've got things to do and places to go. I'm not ready to lay down and die yet.
I'm being taken in a chariot. Thank you. God, going backwards at speed.
Emma, calm down. Be really quick. You can hold on to your mom's hand and look the other way.
Hello, St George's ED. 22-year-old cyclist not wearing a helmet, bullseye the rear windscreen.
Do you know which month is it?
If their conscious level is reduced, if their memory is impaired, the most significant head injury would be a bleed in the brain.
CT is ready for it?
Thank you.